What you're gonna do, this is the value scout drawing project. This is just another project for you to practice your value scout from dark to light. So your job, this is my job, so your job for this project is to learn how to apply value um, to a drawn area to eliminate outlines in the artwork and to create realistic three-dimensional tonal art drawing. Okay, so by the end of this project, you will have created an original three-dimensional tonal drawing using all 10 values from a value scale and eliminate all outlines. So this is very important for the objectives. Okay, when you're drawing this, when you first started drawing this, the outline, I'm going to show you some example. This example right here, make sure you're going to take the whole page drawing this, by the way. And then when you divide the square that you're gonna frame the area of your paper, okay, the whole paper. So you're gonna draw a frame, and then you're gonna divide this into parts like this. Okay, it doesn't have to be like this. It has to be your original thing. You can divide it the way that you like. These are just some examples. Try to be creative. Don't give me just boxes, please. I need you to think of some pattern or shape, trying to create a design that's interesting. Okay. And then at the end of the drawing, I do not want to see any lines that's, you know, like for example, this one. I don't want to see any of the lines that you drew at the beginning to divide the frame or to create the design. So when you create the design, when you divide the to sections, you need to draw very, very lightly. Okay, draw lightly so that you can erase it, or when you shade it in, you kind of cover it up a little bit too. So whatever you do, think about how you can cover those lines. You do not need to erase anything. So I would say, from dark to light, let's say this shape right here. When you do this, shade in dark right here in this area, it kind of covers up the line that you drew. Okay, and then from dark to light, and then this area will be from light to dark, so that it shows instead of both side it's dark and dark, you can really tell the difference. So if you started from one area shading from dark to light, this side from should be the opposite from light to dark, so to make the contrast, okay, to make it look like three-dimensional, have contrast. So first step you need to do is to frame it. Frame it, you're gonna draw a rectangle frame on your paper. So draw the whole paper, pretty much frame your page, okay? And it's a no more than 1 inch on all sides. This is for you. This is for the afterward. For this one, inside of the rectangle, draw a series of intersected lines that breaks the space into small shapes. So for your small shape, it shouldn't be, larger than 1 inch, all size. So I want you to divide the shape into like pretty small, 1 inch, like this, one of the area. Okay. So make sure try to divide. Don't give me like, okay, I have a box, I'm gonna divide it into four. No, please do not do that. You see, 1 inch on each of the shape. Okay. Okay, and then step two, you're gonna add your values. Okay, so in one of your shapes, you choose a side or a corner of that shape and begin your shading. You should begin with your dark 10 value and gradually decrease pressure to create a lighter value until you achieve your lightest one. Remember, one is it's white, so there should be area that you leave as one as white, and also on your you know what so okay, and then let me see, value, and then on the other side of the shape. Okay, so like let's say this example right here, from I'm gonna start from this corner from dark, and gradually it just gradually it's from dark to light, and it gets like this area right here, it should be just white. Okay, so and then step number 3, in the next shape, next to, the shape that you just shaded, how you will organize your value inside of it, um, so that the pencil line dividing the shape disappears into the value. So make sure, you have to figure it out. So let's say this area, like from dark to light, this kind of, the pencil, that the line that you drew kind of, disappears because this dark area kind of covers that line. Okay, so make sure you draw light. And then right here in this area it's white, so you cannot really cover that line right there. So the only way you can cover that pencil line is to start shading that area from dark to light this way, so that the dark area covers that pencil line. Do you guys understand that? So another word, um, on every section of your paper, every shape that you divided, if you start from dark to light right here, and the next shape right next to it, the lighter area, one of the shape has to be, or adjacent shape should be from dark to light. Okay, or from light to dark if you're starting from this point. Okay, so that it covers that line, so that line has to disappear into your shading so that it will not show. Okay, so that's step number 3. So you need to choose your side and corner. You need to decide, where you start, and then make sure that one next to it, you need to know how you can kind of make the line disappear. Okay, and then step number 4 is blend, blend, blend. So basically you can use a blending tool. If you do not have a blending tool, a tissue paper will work. Just roll up your tissue, into a ball, or kind of fold it, and then you kind of just blend it to make it smooth. Okay. So change the direction of your pencil stroke and to eliminate scrambles. So also how you hold your pencil. You watch a video, in class. I show you how you can hold your pencil so that you don't hold it like you're writing. Hold it from like underarm, and when you shade it that way. Okay. That's step number 4. Step number 5: side to side, top to bottom. Pretty much this is how you pretty much shape. Okay. Step 3 and 4, just helpful hints to finish the rest of your project. And before you think that you're done, check, is your project finished, and from side to side, top to bottom. Okay, so make sure every thing that you do, check everything and see if it's finished, and make sure you check your value, whether it's from dark to light. Are they gradually from dark to light, or just like jumping from one tone to another? So make sure it's the pressure of your pencil, how you put pressure on your pencil is very important. Okay, so this is the project where you can practice. If you don't know how to shade in, I will use a scratch paper to kind of practice a little bit before you start shading this. Okay, and then step 5 pretty much is, that I already said this. Step 6, you're gonna write your name somewhere. You're gonna draw a frame on your paper, so I would write your name outside of the frame. So instead of on the back of your work, since you're gonna do it on your sketchbook, I would just write your name maybe above, and then make sure you put period too. And then there's assessment. You're gonna ignore this because I'm not gonna have you do the reflection part. You can look at the rubric, but this is how I'm gonna grade you based it on that rubric. Okay, and things to avoid. Avoid putting dark values next to the dark values because it causes the shape to fuss with each other. Okay, fuss means it's not clear where one shape ends and the next begins. So pretty much that's what it means. Avoid midtones value and light tones value being next to each other because it will allow the pencil line to show. Okay, so make sure, again, this is something to put in mind before you start and think about how you're gonna shape your project. Okay, if the shape is large enough, you can have your darkest value area start from more than one side or corner, or even start in the center of your shapes. Okay, so if your shape is large enough to do that, you can look at this example. Oh no, this example, no, this is not an example. Okay, so that's it for the instruction. So you need a paper 9 by 12. So your sketchbook will do, or just a regular white paper 9 by 12 will be fine. A ruler to draw the frame, and then also to divide your stuff. I will suggest to create something like interesting instead of just give me boxes. I'm not gonna accept boxes, so do not draw just 16 boxes or something 1 inch by inch. I want you to create some design, include different type of line, so not just straight line. Okay, I want some curved lines in there, and just when you're doing Singtangle or something, draw just scroll, just divide it into like sections. Use different lines so that it doesn't have to be like divided like this or spider web or something like that. It can just be random too if you want, but make sure whenever you do that, try to find something that makes it look nice and interesting. Okay, so that's it for the instruction, and then let me just scroll up to the rubric right here. So how I'm gonna grade you. This is worth 70 points. Don't worry about the reflection. Reflection, I'm not gonna ask you to do that. Each section is 10 points. So composition of intersecting lines. So make sure you have that, and an outline. You guys gonna have to read this, okay? And then 10-step value scale. So you do need to have this on top of your outside of the frame, okay, on top or on the side. It's up to you. From dark to light, from darkest is a 10 to 1. One should be a white. One should be white. So this is 10 points already, guys. And an outstanding one. Make sure you have it, okay? And also it has to show in your project, okay? And then control of material, and then the process, and then blending, shading, whether it's gradually, from dark to light or light to dark. So like all of this, and craftsmanship, and then whether you complete it on time or not. That's 10 points. So every time that is late, pretty much I take 10% off. Okay, so that's it for instruction.